What's up guys, Justin here with the SketchUp Essentials for iPad. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the line tool and how you can use it in order to quickly draw lines in SketchUp for iPad. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. And so you can activate the line tool by clicking in the little or tapping on the little pencil over here on the left-hand side of the page. Notice how that'll pop up a little menu here, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But basically, as soon as you see this being highlighted, that means it's time for you to draw a line. And so I can link to a video where we get a little bit more in depth with the drawing modes. But if you click on the little icon right here, you're going to have options for the just draw and the click, move, click. Let's talk about the just draw really quick. Usually I use the click, move, click, but the just draw is basically going to, as soon as you put your pencil down on the screen, it's going to draw a line. And so wherever you move your pencil to, as soon as you let up on the pencil, it's going to draw that line. And notice how when it draws that line, that it's going to automatically be active and ready to draw the next line in your scene like this. So the line tool is always kind of prepared to draw into that next line like this. So that is one way to draw the lines. I prefer the click, move, click method because I find it to be more precise. So if I go in here and do a click, move, click, the way that's going to work. And so let's go ahead and let's erase all of that and do this with click, move, click. So with click, move, click, what this is going to do is it's going to, whenever you put your pencil down on the screen, it's going to highlight something until you press down with your Apple Pencil like this. As soon as you press down, it's going to draw. And notice how now I can pick my pencil up in click, move, click mode. It's not going to finish my line until I press down again. So if I was to press down again, notice how I get a little flash right here, and then it's going to be ready to add my next line in here. And so one thing, at least for me, is when I draw like this, so I press down, and I draw again, I don't always want this jumping into the next edge right here. In order to toggle that off, I'm finding I just tap on another tool and then I tap on this tool again. There might be a faster way to do that, but otherwise it's going to keep trying to draw a line in here, which is not necessarily what you want. But now let's talk a little bit about inferencing. And so you might have noticed when I press my pencil down and then I move it, right? Depending on where I go, this line is turning colors. So if I go out in this direction, right, notice how it's turning green. If I go in this direction, it's turning blue. If I go in this direction, it's turning red right here. That's showing me that I would be drawing along these axis directions, right? So in this case, we could say that blue basically corresponds with straight up and down. And so that's just a direction where if I draw from here to here, notice how this line is blue. If I was to finalize this right here, I know that it's going to draw in a straight up and down direction. This is really helpful for drawing coplanar edges, right? Because let's say that I wanted to draw like a triangle in here, but I wanted there to be a face. If I was to draw along the red axis here, then I know that if I close this in, all of those edges are going to be coplanar, right? And since they're coplanar, it's going to draw a face inside of them. So that's kind of one of the fundamentals of working with SketchUp is drawing things that are coplanar. So the other thing that you can do though, is you can also, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. The other thing that you can do is you can also lock your axis direction by tapping on one of these right here. So notice how I can use this in order to say, all right, no matter what you do, when you draw in this 3D space, you're only going to be able to work on the red axis, right? That's because I tapped on this red axis lock right here. I could also tap on the green axis lock. Well, then it's only going to allow it to draw along the green axis. So you can use these axis locks in order to make sure that you're going to be drawing on coplanar faces, which is really valuable in SketchUp. And so note that there are a couple other tools in here. There's the lock parallel and the lock perpendicular. That's going to allow you, let's say that we drew a line that wasn't along any of the axes, right? So something like this, right? So we've got one line right here. We want to draw another line right here. And so let's say that I was to draw another point right here, and I was to move my mouse in this direction. I was to move my pencil over this line right here, and I was to find a parallel. Well, I could tap on the option for lock parallel. And once I do that, what it's going to do is it's only going to draw a line that's parallel to this other line. So as far as I know, that one is only going to work if you've already found that parallel direction inside of your 3D space. But you can use this to lock parallel as well as locking perpendicular. And then the other thing is you can also draw lines precisely. And so the way that that works is, let's say that I want to draw a 6-foot line along the green axis. Well, what I can do is I can press down in order to start this. I can lock this on the green axis, or I guess you don't really have to. You can just move your pencil in that direction. But instead of me pressing down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap in this little value control bar right here. When I do that, that's going to pop up this little calculator right here. Well, what I can do with the calculator is I can type in a value. So let's say I wanted this to be 10 feet long. I would just type in a value of 10 feet and hit the enter key. And as soon as I do that, what that's going to do is that's going to draw a 10-foot line. So I can use this to be much more precise. So I can draw a line in this direction that's 25 feet long, like this. And so you can use this in order to precisely draw lengths inside of SketchUp. And note that this is live, meaning that until I go out of this tool right here, I can actually go back in and change the value, right? When I hit enter, until I add another point in here, notice how I can type in different values. So if you type in the wrong thing, you can just tap back in here and type a new value like this in order to adjust that so that you don't draw a line that isn't the length that you don't want. All right, so that's the end of this video. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.